Could Sasha Banks be set to debut in a non-WWE promotion? And could Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk really happen? But first, let's get to the quickfire headlines as we have an update on the ongoing legal situation involving AEW star Jeff Hardy, who was arrested back in June 2022 on charges of DUI, his third offense in 10 years, driving with a suspended license and violating restrictions placed on a license. According to PW Insider, Hardy is now set for a pre-trial hearing this Friday, November 18th, and is required to attend proceedings in person. Hardy's scheduled hearing in October was pushed back following a last-minute motion from his attorney, and it would appear that a plea agreement is being worked on that would prevent the case going to trial. Yesterday, All Elite Wrestling would announce that fans in North America will be able to experience this Saturday's Full Gear pay-per-view in select theaters, with over 300 participating venues taking part. The cinema companies involved include Cinemark, AMC, Regal, Imagine Theaters, and Marcus Theaters that in the United States, Landmark Cinemas in Canada, and Cinepolis in Latin America. According to PW Insider, Drew McIntyre would fly out to India immediately after the recent Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia, with him set to have a role in a Bollywood movie. The part was set up by WWE and Sony, with the Scottish Warrior receiving praise from within the promotion for his commitment to his schedule. It's currently unknown which movie he will be in or what the role entails. According to WrestleVotes on Twitter, WWE are set to head abroad this January for a yet-to-be-announced international live event, with them noting, "I'm told there was chatter last night backstage at Raw of an international live event taking place on Wednesday, January 18th or Thursday, January 19th. With locations still to be decided, no word on if this event is for TV or not." Whilst the location is still unknown, fans have speculated that WWE could be heading to India, referencing Drew McIntyre's upcoming movie project as a potential reason, although again, this is just speculation. Impact Wrestling have announced another title match for their upcoming Overdrive pay-per-view this Friday night, with the Knockouts Championship set to be on the line. The belt will be up for grabs in a last knockout standing match, with the champion Jordynne Grace putting her title on the line against Masha Slamovich, and the match follows Grace's win over Slamovich last month at Bound for Glory, which ended the challenger's winning streak in the promotion, who is now set for a second attempt at the gold. Impact Wrestling have also announced the date and location for their upcoming Sacrifice pay-per-view, with the promotion heading back to Canada. The move will see the pay-per-view air live on Friday, March 24th from the St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, before recording several episodes of Impact Television the next night from the same venue. No matches have been announced for the shows as of this recording, with the taping still a number of months away. The Women's War Games, scheduled for Survivor Series, now has 2 more competitors in the match, with the newest member of the OC, Mia Yim, filling one of the 2 available spots on the face side of things, joining Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka. The group still has 1 spot left open. As for the heel team of Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Nikki Cross, they will be joined by Mia Yim's rival Rhea Ripley, finishing off the 5-person team. And speaking of Survivor Series, another match was added to the card last night before Monday Night Raw, with the head of the OC, AJ Styles, set to battle with the head of the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, in a battle of former Bullet Club leaders. During the show, Styles challenged Balor to a match on the pay-per-view, with him eager to end their feud once and for all, with Balor accepting the challenge later on in the night. And for our final story from Raw, Austin Theory would bounce back from last week's failed cash-in of his Money in the Bank briefcase, where he oddly challenged Seth Rollins for the United States Championship before falling short. Theory would appear on Raw last night, insisting that he is done being a selfie-snapping guy, showing up with a new beard and a much more serious attitude. He would then find himself in a match with Dolph Ziggler before the match was ruled a no contest after going too far, before continuing the attack after the match. At the conclusion of the show, Theory would then attack Seth Rollins after his US title defense over Finn Balor, smashing him in the face with the United States belt, showing that last week's failure is just the beginning of a brand new push. And now let's get to the key stories, as a top AEW star has discussed their return to in-ring action. Saraya, the former page in WWE, would make her debut in All Elite Wrestling at Dynamite Grand Slam on September 21st, where they're now set for her first match since December 2017, where she suffered a neck injury that forced her to retire. Now that she is cleared to compete by leading doctors, she will now find herself across the ring from former AEW Women's World Champion Britt Baker at the Full Gear pay-per-view this Saturday, with All lies on the former WWE Divas champion. Speaking with Chris Van Vliet on the Insight podcast this week, Saraya would discuss her return to action and said, "I'm dying to get back in the ring again. I'm excited that it's not too far away. I know there are going to be a lot of eyes on that match. There's a lot of pressure to make sure that I put on a good enough match where everyone is like, welcome back, we like that she's back. There's going to be a lot of nervous people watching me too, because I feel there's a lot of people that aren't haters that are worried about me. They're going to watch, then you have the haters on top of that just want to see me fail or hurt are going to be watching. Then the people that are happy that I'm back are going to be watching." Saraya would then say that she feels that she's under a microscope due to her previous injury and added, "For everybody watching, everybody in general, it's going to be a big deal. I'm going to be under a microscope that day. Everything I'm going to be doing is going to be scrutinized. I'm fully expecting at this point after the match, I'm not going to look at social media or have it on my phone. I'm already too much in my head to the point where I just want to be good and I have to focus on making sure that I keep myself safe and make sure Britt is safe, and the pressures of having a match is wild to me. It's a beautiful story, but it makes me nervous." In recent weeks, Saraya has found herself getting physical in an AEW ring in the lead up to her match with Baker, but now she's set for the next big step, wrestling for the first time in 5 long years. And next up, we look at if Sasha Banks is set to make her debut outside of WWE. Earlier this month, Mercedes Varnado, better known as Sasha Banks in WWE, would take to social media to tease an upcoming announcement or appearance in the month of November, stating that she has waited 6 months for this moment. The news followed her walkout on WWE earlier this year, this following creative disagreements with the previous WWE regime under Vince McMahon. Speculation then grew over what Varnado's next move could be, whether it be a return to WWE under Triple H, a move to All Elite Wrestling, a match or two in Stardom in Japan, or even something completely unrelated to wrestling. Well, Mercedes has now filed for some very interesting trademarks that hint at a potential wrestling-related move outside of WWE, as under her own company Solnado Inc., she has filed for the trademarks for the terms Statement Maker, Mercedes Money, Money Talks, and Bank Money. The filings would be applied for on November 10th for several uses, including for live audio performances by an actor or musician, and most notably for us, for use in wrestling exhibits and performances by a professional wrestler and entertainer. On top of this, the marks are also for use in jewelry, stickers and trading cards, drinking glasses, clothing, action figures, and many more merchandising categories. It seems that whilst Mercedes does have plans to expand her empire outside of wrestling, the trademark suggests that she has her eye on wrestling outside of WWE, although her next destination is still unknown. With that said, it's important to note that it is possible that she will run these outside ventures while still part of WWE, although the wrestling-based filings suggest otherwise. But what do you think is next for Mercedes in or outside of WWE? Let me know in the comments down below. And finally, could Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk really happen? Earlier this year at WrestleMania 38, Stone Cold Steve Austin would come out of his almost 2-decade-long retirement, returning to the ring to take on Kevin Owens in the main event of night 1 of the show. Since then, there's been talk of if the Rattlesnake is done with wrestling or if he will come back for more matches following the success of the street fight. Well, according to Fightful Select, WWE have approached Austin over the possibility of another match, with him receiving interest from both the prior Vince McMahon regime and the current Triple H regime, and the report notes, "We're told WWE at least wants him to do more with the company. Specifically, we're told that while the Vince McMahon regime had hoped to have Austin come back to do another match, that the Triple H regime had actually made an offer for Austin to do another match. The sources that we spoke to weren't sure if that meant for a Saudi Arabia match, WrestleMania, or anything else, but that there was an offer." With there still being doubt over the future of CM Punk in AEW, who is reportedly in talks to have his contract cut short following recent events, fans have started talking about the prospect of what many see as an ultimate dream match between the Texas Rattlesnake and the Straight Edge Superstar, something Dave Meltzer discussed on Wrestling Observer Radio. Regarding possible matches for Austin, he would note, "There is smoke to that fire and there are discussions happening. It's all hands on deck. They got 2 nights of WrestleMania. There's big money matches that he can do. I mean, there's a bunch of them. I don't know what the legalities would be for Punk, but I think actually that's the biggest money of all the matches that he could do." Regarding a move to WWE for CM Punk, Meltzer would add that whilst there are individuals in the company that don't want him back, it's ultimately up to WWE management, and he would add, "I know people in WWE who absolutely do not want him there, but they are not people on the creative team. But at the end of the day, it's not their decision, it's the decision of Nick Khan and Stephanie and Triple H. Paul may just go in there and go, look, what happened? We don't need it. And they don't. They don't need it, and he may just do that. If it was Vince would do it, I think, with that kind of money at stake." For the match to happen, many things would have to fall into place, including Austin agreeing to return, Punk receiving his release from AEW, as well as being able to recover from injury in time for the show. On top of this, a non-compete clause will no doubt be in place for Punk if the buyout talks are successful, a period that would prevent him from wrestling elsewhere for a set time. The non-compete would have to end before Mania, making this match a difficult yet not impossible task to pull off. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 masked AEW wrestlers unmasked.